And we're off. Hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Luke Thomas. Welcome. We are getting ready. And just as I say that, here comes Michael Buffer in the ring. We're getting ready for the rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. It's the rematch. Here is Michael Buffer wearing what appears to be snakeskin camouflage. I don't know. Boy, he looks old as balls. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to watch this together. We're going to score it together. And then we're going to do a post-fight show. We'll only for this fight, we won't really cover the full card, although the fight that just happened was pretty cool. Got a 19-year-old kid getting a tremendous win. But the main event is now upon us. So, standard disclaimer. Here we go. Ring walk's happening now. Perfect timing. Thumbs up on this. Yes. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Let me show you what was on my screen just for a second. We're only going to do it for a second here. Let's see. Whoop, there we go. Hold on. Let's do it this way. Let me get the background up. All right. Just like that. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so here comes Tyson Fury getting ready. We have a lot to get to. This is going to be awesome. Let's get started. All right, you guys know the drill. If you don't, I'll explain it to you. If you want to get something on the screen, fire it in the super chat. Let's see what we got. I got a couple here already. F you, Luke. Who do we have and how? I like Usyk's chances of winning back-to-back here, but we all know the fuckery of boxing and how everything can get in the way. But it should be fun just the same. I look a little red, don't I? A little weird. Let's see. But thanks to everyone who was joining me. Really appreciate it. So one more time, I know last week for UFC Tampa, we just did a watch-along and there was no post-fight show. We'll do a post-fight show here today. So I appreciate everyone who's here. All that good stuff. Thumbs up. Fire it in the super chat. Y'all know the drill. We're going to have a good-ass time here. Here comes Tyson Fury. By the way, feeling a million times better. I'm on my inhaler. You might see me take that because I might have asthma. I don't even know. But, you know, I'm feeling better. I was feeling like death yesterday. I'm still not over it completely, but I'm feeling a lot better today. So I'm pretty excited. And I got some good sleep last night, which almost never happens in my life. But, okay. Here's Tyson Fury. Something I want everyone to pay attention to. In the first fight, when he was attempting high 20s or even as much as low 30s jabs per round, he had a ton of success. That's Tyson Fury. Now, not landing that many, of course, no one lands that many, at least not on Usyk, but attempting, just the attempt. What kind of volume is he trying to put on Usyk? People have been asking, what are all the ways that Tyson Fury could do something a little bit different? And the answer is there's a lot of things he probably could change. He'd be on the front foot as opposed to the back foot. Higher, obviously, jab attempts, more volume, make it kind of rain a little bit on Usyk. There's tie him up more. I mean, lean onto him. I mean, all kinds of stuff that he could potentially try. It's just a question of what's going to be effective. But one thing that did work well that I do think will translate no matter what kind of game plan, but across a variety of game plans, across a variety of strategies, is sticking behind that jab. And again, just being consistent with it, whether or not it lands, whether or not it sticks. Obviously, you want it to, but it doesn't need to. It can help you change angles, reestablish position. Just shut Usyk down at a bare minimum because he blocks like this. So if he is not doing like that, like the kind of defense that Tyson Fury does, where he is shoulder rolling and he is bobbing and weaving, Usyk has a more traditional sort of flat defense that occupies his guard. I do wonder if that will be a difference. However, in the end, we are just talking about an Oleksandr Usyk, a master craftsman. And here he comes now. Here he comes now. Look at this. Holy smokes. You might hear me a little bit short of breath. I apologize. It's because I'm still getting over this thing. Bro, look at this guy. Look at that. Look at the intensity on this man. I don't understand half of what he's wearing. I don't know its symbolism, but I know it gasses him up, and I know how good he is, and that alone makes me excited. And here's Alan W. being super generous. Thank you, my friend. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone out there as well. Alex, who's a consistent staple on these here parts, says, "What's up, Luke? The donk stream has begun." Yes, it has. Thank you for being here. JN says, "Luke, you took my Elon question on MK yesterday. That rant was epic. Please consider doing more live Q&As during MK." We might. We absolutely might. If people like it, well, we're happy to do more. Saul, MK all day, like the vid boys. Thank you, my friend. Two Chanks. I put a little on a draw at plus 1,400 and Usyk by decision at plus 180. I don't think that's crazy. I don't know what they do in the event of a draw. If Fury wins, they definitely do a trilogy. But I don't know what they do in the event of a draw. I don't know what contractual provisions there are. I mean, obviously, Turkey can just chuck money at him, but I don't know what the stipulations are. All right, here comes Usyk over the top rope. Joe says, "Merry Christmas." Yeah, same to you, my friend. Hope to see you and BC have a good 2025. Me too, brother. Me too. Right and wrong. Could be asthma. Could be ass, ma. You guys hear this? I sound so terrible. Carl says, "My DAZN stream is lagging like hell. How's yours?" Mine has been a little choppy, but basically okay. Ray. DAZN having a real Netflix moment right now. If people are having problems, I knock on wood, mine is being okay. Thank you, my friend from Con. Wishing you the best. All right, here's Michael Buffer and Alan W. Something nice for the Tookster. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you so much. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate all of you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Happy to have you here. All right, here's a Saudi gentleman. I think they're doing the Saudi national anthem. I'll refrain from making too many jokes. Yo, I bought this off TikTok. You guys have seen this? The Voltrex thing? Look, it's got a button here, and it's USB-C rechargeable. You can actually flip this like little lid open. Check this out. Oops. Hell yeah, brother. Am I a simple human or what? Oh, liquid go spin. Man, drink. I tell you what, it's good. I have to, because I've had diverticulitis before, I have to have like fiber supplements. You have to eat fiber anyway, but it always helps to supplement. And sometimes it can be a little hard to just stir it or shake it. And this thing actually works really well. Plus protein powder, peanut butter, about $20 for one of these things. It's pretty cool. I've got my vitamin C drink in here because I'm dying of whatever the fuck I have. I took a COVID test. It came up negative. I don't know if that means I have it or not, but it came up negative. All right. Now they're doing the UK national anthem. God Save the King. Fury looks pumped. They got rid of Big John Fury in the corner. Did you guys see that? We talked about it yesterday at MK a little bit. Probably a smart call. If you actually go back and watch the in-between rounds cornering that happened the first time, you've got Sugar Hill trying to get a word out, and then Big John just over in his ear yelling the whole time. They removed that element, and I think that's probably wise. Shane says, "My pirate box with Sky Sports is smooth as butter." Again, knock on wood, I'm not having a Netflix moment where I'm having to. I've got my laptop here if I need it. I've got my phone here. Obviously, I can get a internet signal without the internet, or I can get a telecom signal without the use of my home internet if I need it. There's Turkey. Okay, now it's time for the Ukrainian national anthem. I might have to cough a time or two. I'll just mute my mic as such. I promise I am feeling better. I really am. All right, here's a bunch of donks in tuxedos singing the Ukrainian national anthem. God bless them, I suppose. Well, relative to PFL events, this one is better attended. Jason Statham is there. I think Francis Ngannou was there. I'm not sure about that one. I did see Jason Statham there. I think Amir Khan is there. I think Prince Nassim Hamed is there. Oh, Beterbiev is there. They had him. They had him out there. They gave away a Mercedes to a guy I'm not sure could fit into it. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying I've sat in luxury cars, and well, I wasn't the size of that gentleman, but I'm just a big guy in general. You guys ever seen those things where you can like go to a racetrack and you can rent for like a couple of laps, you can rent like a luxury automobile? My wife did that for me, and she got me a McLaren for it's like 4 laps you can take. And I had to switch because I actually even at 250 pounds, I couldn't fit. Maybe a little bit more. I think it was like 260, 265 maybe, but I couldn't fit into the McLaren. I had to switch to like whatever the fuck I can't remember. This was a long time ago, but all right. Here's Michael Buffer. Let me turn this up a little bit so I can hear it. Anyone taken Fury? And if so, what would be the reasoning? Not to say that's a bad call. Fred says, I find that self-stirring cup incredibly cool. Men are very easily entertained, aren't they? It doesn't take much, man. Like, my wife is like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, you know what I want? That's what I want. That's what I want. I want shit that I don't really need, but it's only like $20. That's what I want. All right. Fury at the weigh-ins yesterday, a bunch of extra clothes on, coming in at least 20 pounds more than last time. We'll see what kind of role that plays. Hey, the referee is wearing gloves today. Normally, boxing referees don't wear gloves and latex gloves, and it drives me up the wall. But this one is wearing it, so God bless him. Thank you. Fred says, "Leave the big guy alone. He has a lot in his." Okay, we doing that now? I mean, it made me laugh, but we doing that now? We're fat shaming a guy. I wasn't. I was just saying he was too big for a Mercedes, probably, right? Did you see that Elon went after Kyle Kalinske on Twitter? Would you consider reaching out to him to come on your show? Yeah. I mean, obviously Kyle's got a much bigger platform than I do, but yes. Alan W. Fury can smother and lean on him. He came in over 270. Copy of Make or Break Him. Yeah. Turn this up a little bit more. There we go. Now I can hear a little bit better. There's Sugar Hill Stewart. Your judges. I'm just going to say Donk Style, Gerardo Martinez, Patrick Morley, and Ignacio Robles. That's the worst way to pronounce it, but Ignacio Robles. And your referee, Roberto Ramirez. He is apparently Puerto Rican. I don't know much about him. You know what? For being 7,000 years old, Michael Buffer looks all right. Look at that watch he's got on. You see the diamonds shining on that thing? On the French cuffs? Jesus. Yes, let's get ready to rumble indeed, Michael Buffer. All right, here come the introductions. So there was a controversy about the beard, and most people think, why would it matter? You don't want to assume, of course, that the beard can absorb damage. That's really not the issue. The issue is, does it make the chin visible? And of course, it can all depend on the person, the length of the beard, whatever. But he wasn't made to shave it. All right, there's Tyson Fury getting the nod. Turn this down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, we move over to the red corner. Oleksandr Usyk, looking like a fucking serial killer. Dude, Tyson Fury looked like he's doing this for himself. Look at the corner of Usyk. It looks like he's doing it for like his clan, and this is 5,000 years ago or something. You know what I mean? Like the purpose that he seems to be driven by seems to be so much bigger and rooted in something so much larger than himself. It's like not just for the nation, but for their identity as people. Rob says men will bench 3 bills but not shake their own post-workout drink. It's true, bro. Alex, my stream is completely effed. I can't get it to work. I'll do my best to do play-by-play here. Alan W. Buffer is working hundreds of millions. He signed a huge video game deal in the 2000s for, oh, did he really? God bless him. He's out there he's caked up with clout. Dan Dave, is it difficult to be left-wing in a right-wing business like MMA? Yes and no. Do people attack you for it? Yeah, of course. Or have you been threatened? Of course I have. All that shit. All right, here comes the stare down. They're both looking like maniacs. Jay says, just want to say thanks for the great year, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. You too. Boy, look at these guys with the big... I don't know if the mind games are working on Usyk. All right, we are going to have a round timer. All right, here we go. Round 1 coming up. I am fucking pumped. Here we go. Here we go. Round 1. Let's go. Now, you'll remember Usyk, orthodox, was good for lead outside foot positioning. Oh, big shot there already from Fury. Kind of sets him off balance. And you'll recall Usyk very good about moving to the outside of the lead foot of Fury, and Fury getting pushed into that left side, the power side of Usyk. But the big question last time was about being on the back foot. Let's pay attention and see what happens here. Does Fury try to lead a little bit more? Yeah, Fury looks noticeably fatter. And you could see already with Usyk, the up, down, the circle, right? The level change, inside, outside, pendulum stepping. So it's up and down, it's side to side, it's in and out. It's just really, really difficult to get a read on that guy. Fury trying to time that right hand already. And remember, we're looking at attempted jabs from Fury. Fury, I'm going to say Usyk aggressively attacking the body, which he did last time. And of course, that makes sense. You don't want if you're going to attack the head, he's going to pull. It's going to make it harder, at least early there. And then on the follow up, you can get him just like that. Long guard being implemented here, a little like a scooping right hand to the body uppercut. You could see that Fury trying to tie up, Usyk resisting it. Dude, he is so good at fighting in the clinch, at least for boxing, you know. Ooh, pay attention to that right hand. That right hand, that there was a hook there that, look, he tried it again. Usyk is almost there for it. Man, it's just so hard to get a read on Usyk. And look at him, got him backed up against the ropes. That left hand, just he lances it long and straight. It doesn't necessarily land, but Fury pulls, and then he's up against the ropes. Round 1 in the books. Man, I wasn't really scoring that one. How did y'all score it? All of these are going to be like kind of close. I feel like Usyk did a little bit more work, but I wasn't paying attention exactly that way. Matt says got 50 on Fury by decision. Not a bad bet. I mean, they're all pretty good bets depending on what you're doing. I am very feel. Yes. I am very feel as well. Saul says Fury looking like Dr. Eggman from Sonic. Is that Jim Carrey? Is that who that is? Michael says we have to have you and BC and maybe even Chuck do a watch along, especially for something like this in the future. Think that could happen? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. 2024 was a big transition year. You know, there was a lot that went the way that it went. Y'all know the story. I don't have to tell you. All right, round 1 in the books. Let's take a look at the highlights here. Fury digging to the body after holding the right hand and then pushing off with the left. That's pretty nifty. And an off-balanced Usyk. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to get this up late, but I'm going to run it just the same. This is going to be late. I apologize, folks. It's going to be about 6 seconds delayed. Fury trying to time some of the movement here of Usyk. Usyk slipping, dipping off to that angle. You guys see that? That's how he changes that angle. Going to the body off the angle change, does Usyk. Good left hand to the body. Didn't land clean, but a good attempt. Another one. Usyk looks to be in very good physical condition. Not that that's ever in question, but you know what I mean. Good job by Fury. Touch, 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 then throw the right. Good, another good shot to the body there from Usyk. And another one underneath the jab of Fury. He's going to use that to diminish Fury's willingness to even throw it. Oh. Dude, look at how clean his mechanics are, man. Talking about Usyk. Oh, that was a bit of a trip because he had the lead outside foot and he just pushed him over it, but it was a nice shot that landed. Man, Usyk, look at the higher volume from Usyk relative to the first fight. Look at the redness underneath the lead arm there from Tyson. You could see him throw the right, Fury did, but there was a pre-slip already from Usyk. That's not bad there on the jab from Fury. Man, Usyk consistent driving that jab. Man, Usyk going after him. Ooh. Good right hand from Fury. Good round. I'm going to kill this. I'll make sure I get the round timer better for the next one. I apologize for that, y'all. So Fury landed the best single shot, but Usyk did much more consistent work off that jab. I'd probably still give it to Usyk. Ray says, Fury, I think, his belt line is literally 2 inches from his pecs. Yeah, his belt is high as fuck. The referee allowing that is a bit of a problem for me. Gabe says, what's with the belt line fuckery by Fury? He always has it high, but I admit, this one is... Take a look at these highlights. Yeah, he got pushed off balance there a little bit. I want to make sure I get this right. Round 3 coming up. Klitschko, Lennox Lewis. Here we go. Round 3. God, Fury touches himself with that right hand as like a tick constantly. You see that? He's constantly doing that. That left hand got through a little bit for Usyk. He's complaining about shots to the back of the head. Referee tells him to fight through it. Usyk now up against the fence using lateral movement. I say fence, I meant ropes. Excuse me. You know, people were saying, is this going to be round 13 or a new fight? This feels like round 13, 14, now 15. Ooh. Good. Better defense from Fury, keeping the hand up as Usyk was trying to throw the lancing left. Fury gets him up. Excuse me. Fury gets up against the ropes. Decent right hand to the up top from Usyk. Fury to the body. Yeah, better defense from Fury, keeping the hand up. Big difference from the last one. And even there, he got it up across his face just now. Did you see that? That's pretty good. Fury still doing the bow and arrow, though. When he jabs, he's pulling the lead hand down, right? So southpaw Fury now. Back to orthodox. Good left hand from Fury. Couple of flick jabs there from Fury as well, and another one. Better round for him. That's a Fury round for sure. The ringside like unofficial scorer had it 2 rounds, the first 2 rounds for Fury. I mean, I guess you could. I'm not judging in hardcore. That one definitely felt like a Fury round. Carl says Fury starting kind of slow. Was expecting urgency. Patient. I would say not slow. Patient. Make a round clock that resets after the 4th min. Yeah, I could do that. Good jab to the. Yeah, tons of good jabs by Usyk. But he's got to get something that lands more demonstrative to make that work. Seconds out. There we go. Round 4. Let's do it. They're exchanging body shots. Usyk, to me, looks like he's fighting with much more urgency, but that is allowing him to be hit a little bit more as well. I don't know if the stats bear that out. It just feels that way. Usyk has been good going to the body. Interesting. Fury pushing down on the head. Referee kind of warns him for it. But Usyk has not really been able to target the head at all very effectively. Fury doing a good job there thus far, really preventing him from, again, thus far, from really being able to double up his attacks so he can go high. Then he switched stance defensively, Tyson did. Now he's southpaw. Got to be careful. And he gets hit with a huge shot. You got to be careful. It's okay to go southpaw to move away, but then when you stay in the stance, if you don't have good defense that way, you're going to get drilled. Big shot there. Nice one by Usyk. Usyk fighting with tenacity. Smarts, obviously, but tenacity. By the way, he switched stances in previous fights and has been buzzed. Good long guard there from Fury, and much better about staying. Look at that, hand up again. Fury's positioning and defense and use of the long guard making a bit of a difference. Good shot from Fury, right hand. Oh, and they switch his stance again, but this time they clinch. There we go. Here comes Fury. They gave Usyk round 3. Am I watching the same fight? That's weird. These are all pretty close rounds, man. How are you guys scoring it thus far? How are you guys scoring it thus far? 4 rounds in. We're 1/3 of the way through. Is Tyson's physique intentional or showing lack of discipline? Intentional. Absolutely intentional. Look at some of these highlights. Good shots to the body from Usyk. And then you see Fury holding down the head. He goes southpaw, boom. I'd give that round to Usyk probably. So I could see it 2-2, maybe 3-1 Fury, something like that, 2-2-ish. Here we go. Round 5. Here we go. Ooh, big right hand from Fury almost lands. Fury doing a better job staying out of bad spots. Clinching, and he has an underhook. Pay attention. Ooh, shot to the back of the head. Last time, Usyk was able to get inside bicep ties. Pay attention this time to see if Fury can get an underhook when they clinch. Now, Fury's got his hands up rather than using shoulder rolling and big movement. Oh, that uppercut, nearly big uppercut from Fury. Not a super crazy one, but a nice one. Stumbles Usyk a little bit off that pendulum step. That was sick. Was there an elbow just now from Fury? Fury using this to kind of crowd and back up Usyk. It's a better performance thus far. Ooh, ooh. And they're exchanging. Man, Fury looking much. I don't know. I feel like Fury's looking pretty good. Oh, great shot to the body from Fury. Look at Fury bringing his hands up for defense. Again, when you do the shoulder rolling and the trunk movement, a lot of times it makes you pull big time out of position. But if you just bring your hands up, it occupies your hands, but you don't have to give up your foot positioning. Not as much. Another good shot to the body, although Usyk lands a good jab up top. Usyk trying to crowd the space off of the right hand. Fury goes back to the body. That's much better by him. Oh, good, nice combo. Changing of tempo and intensity by Usyk. Fury looks like Soda Popinski if he let himself go. Great round. I think that might have been Fury's. Again, I'm just kind of going a little bit off memory and vibes. I'm not really judging it as such. So if you guys disagree, you might be right. I'm not making a grand claim that my scorecard is anything like authority. Good fight so far. Competitive, much tighter in certain ways. Fury closing a lot of doors that were open the first time. Usyk still knocking, still knocking, still knocking. Like Drickus Duplessis, he still knocks. Let's take a look at these highlights. Great jab, comes over the top. That's nice work. Fury is able to kind of clinch off of it. Boom, shot to the body there. It's nice. You got him folding over like that, which means that uppercut's going to be right behind it, right? All right. Yeah. There we go. Mine's going to be a little bit off. Here comes Usyk. He's closing the distance off of some kind of entry and then going touch, 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 and then a big shot he's trying to throw to really have some impact along the way. Right? If Fury's going to cover up, then touch him to occupy it and then keep touching him to put other shots behind it. So that's the adjustment he's making. So from the first fight, Fury bringing his hands up more rather than shoulder rolling and slipping. But as a consequence, that's allowing Usyk to now put combinations together. Oof. Shot to the body by Usyk. Left hand just misses by Usyk. Good loop over the top by Usyk. Nice right hand from Fury. God, that up, down, up, down, up, down is such a fucking hard thing to get prepared for. Fury doing such a good job with that long guard and post and then peeling out. There came that combination when Fury tried to bring his guard up. Do you see that? That's the answer to the answer. Mm. Ooh. Close round. Round 6 is a close round. Oh, big left hand from Usyk. That's gonna steal him the round. I mean, it was pretty close before. Oh, another one. Oh, great counterpunching by Usyk. Fantastic. Round 6 is going to be his round. That's an Usyk round. That's an Usyk round for sure. Matt says Fury starting to get into a flow. Feels like Usyk is too. Avant says Fury gave a lot of look, but you just adjust so fast. Yeah, I know. But Usyk, but Usyk just adjusts so fast. Dude, they're doing a good job of closing a lot of the doors from the first fight. I do think that they really went. Look at some of these highlights here. To the body, boom. Oh boy, he had Fury, looking around in space. Nice shot. Nice shot. Looks. Oh, you know what he did? He looked down, so he went and then came over the top, pulling Fury's eyes down. Look, here it is. Let's do it. Right on time. Round 7. Good shots to the body there by Usyk. Oh, nice right hook off that combo. Again, they're using Fury. This is not his typical common way of defending. They're using the fact that he's now stationary, but bringing his hands up to put combinations around his gloves using superior speed. Dude, Usyk is a fucking boxing genius. I mean, Fury might still win and might still be winning this fight, depending on your perspective. But just to see how, to the point the last person made, how fucking fast Usyk makes adjustments to what you're doing is insane. He can, another left hand by Usyk. He can think so well. Yeah, Usyk starting to push Fury around in this round in terms of the spatial positioning. God, it must be frustrating as shit to fight this guy. Fury been very quiet so far. Not as soon as I say that, nice right hand. Usyk returns it a little bit. Oh, quieter round than last round. Oh, big left hand by Usyk. He covers so much distance sometimes. Oh, that right hook just misses for Usyk. Usyk trying to trick him with fake angle changes. Fury goes back to southpaw. Well, he's going to get fucking chin doing that. He's going to get chin doing that. Oh, man. That's the end of that round. That was an Usyk round for sure. Gypsy King slowing down a little bit. Slowing down just a little bit. Man, good fight. Not a great one yet, but definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. February 22nd, better BF Bivol 2. That's going to be fun. Here are some of the highlights. Fury, we got that one right hand that he got through. That was nice. Seconds out. Seconds out. There we go. Round 8. Here we go. You see how Fury does the flick jab, almost like a backhand? There's different ways to do it, but that's one of them. Usyk switching stance just for a brief moment at the end of that combo. Decent uppercut from Fury. Oh, Usyk chasing Fury on the retreat, can't quite get through, pushes him into the fucking ring post. Jesus. Mm. Oh, head clash. Head clash. Are they okay? All right, they're going to let it rock. Very common in open stance fights. Oh, Fury doing a lot of like dirty boxing. Usyk still going to the body, trying to whip around the gloves. Oh, better job by Fury collecting an underhook there. Usyk, by the way, look at the timing on the punches. He throws the left straight, but doesn't go bop, bop. He goes bop, bop. There's a delay because he's expecting Tyson Fury to move a little bit, and then he wants to catch him afterwards. But it's not a dot, dot. He's not trying to like do it all successively. There's a delayed timing in it. Here comes Fury on the front foot, though. As soon as I say that, good jab by Usyk, backs him up. Looks to me like Fury's just overall slowing down a little bit. Look at the activity. It's Usyk kind of chasing him around the ring, for crying out loud. But there's Fury collecting an underhook. Better about clinching this time. Oh, Usyk kind of chasing him through angle change and retreats. Sick. I still think Usyk is starting to collect these rounds a little bit. It's not like he's landing anything super dynamite or that Fury's completely out of it, but Fury's just not doing as much. I cannot wait to see what the final stats look like. I really, really cannot wait. Johnston says, is the Ryan Garcia exhibition fight confirmed back on for the end of the year? No, not this year. I think they're going to try and do it again next year, but like he's off suspension in April. They're just going to like, get rid of it altogether. Also, he seems to suck. Like, I don't give a fuck if he competes again. Here's De La Hoya wearing sunglasses inside. That seems unnecessary. Here comes round 9. Here we go. Round 9. Man, Usyk just coming out fucking hard charging. Look at this. Look at this beast. Ooh. All right, so round 9 last time, as you hear the commentary booth saying, was the pivotal one. Let's see what happens this time. Better clinching from Fury. Look at that. And you see him body shot and then over tie like that. It's hard to do against a guy like Usyk. Good body shots from Fury. Usyk returns with a left straight. Long guard again from Fury, but he does not. I mean, he got rid of the jab attempts. You see, now he's trying to like counterpunch a little bit. Good. He's trying to do that uppercut and then crowd. And why would you do that? Why would you throw an uppercut and crowd just like that? Because it prevents the opponent from firing back. It minimizes any kind of counter. If you just land a shot and then immediately smother them, they have no ability to counter you, or limited anyway. Looks like there's a bit of a mouse developing under the left eye of Usyk. And here comes Turkey at the edge of the ring. Dude, get the fuck away from the ring. No one's going to tell him that because, you know, no one wants to get beheaded, but good combination up top by Usyk. Low shot by Tyson Fury. There was a bit of a trip there. Just that, no, he didn't get hit with anything huge. Good right hand by Usyk. Fury doing a lot. Oh, Fury starting to pour. Excuse me, Usyk starting to pour it on a little bit towards the end of this round. Round 9 in the books. That one was a little closer, but I think Usyk's just doing enough where it just might be overall more volume. Avant says his style ages so well. Constant head movement, up, down, left, right, level changing, giving him angles and timing, mixing body and head and pace. Dude, Usyk is a tough fucking nut to crack, man. Michael says sunglasses inside hide the cocaine. Sorry, you can hear my voice. My daughter coughed in my mouth and I think just gave me bird flu. I don't know how she got bird flu, but now I have it. Fury's right hand isn't as glued to his chin anymore. Nope. And he's not moving around as much. Sorry, he's not throwing back as much. I apologize. Here we go. Seconds out. Round 10. Fury's still doing a better job defensively than last time. I mean, obviously. Big uppercut from Fury kind of gets through. Good early first effort from Fury. Usyk doing a good job of inside ties. Ooh. Anthony Joshua gave the last round to Fury. I don't think that's crazy. Ooh. Here comes Fury again. Fury's landing a few and then clinching. Landing a few and then clinching. Smart. Ooh. Here came that uppercut again. He's getting a little bit. Oh, good jab over the top by Usyk. Off the angle change, no less. And look at look at the wrestling by Usyk. The tie and the underhook. Do you see that? Moving the much bigger man around. Unbelievable. Technique wins fights, man. That was impressive as shit. He was moving him around. Stance switch smother by Fury. Trying to fight him on the inside. This is interesting. Let's see if that works. Off the stance switch. He might get chin doing that. Oh. Oh. Okay, there's southpaw. Let's see if he gets chinned for it. This is not a bad strategy by Fury. smothering with the shoulder and then driving him into the ropes. He stays southpaw. Yeah, he gets chinned, of course. All right, now he goes back to orthodox. Oh, good uppercut by Fury. Oh, good stance switch and angle change by Fury. Fury might have taken. It might be even fight. It might be an even fight heading into the 11th round. This one's going to come down to the wire in all likelihood, unless there's like fuckery in Saudi Arabia. You hear the corner advice of Sugar Hill Stewart. Yeah, you hear him grind him on the inside. It's smart. It's smart. Seconds out. Here we go. Round 11. Oh, he's firing. Fury's firing that uppercut from so far away. You got to be careful with that, man. Another uppercut that misses. Oh, Fury briefly goes southpaw. Good shot to the body by Usyk. Oh, another one. Oh, good combination from Usyk. Fury looking for like individual weapons where I feel like Usyk just keeps on like knocking on the doors to see what's available. Oh, great combination. Right hand, left straight from Usyk. Oh, big left hand by Usyk. Fury's up against the ropes. He wisely clinches. He's on southpaw. He's going to get fucking chin doing that. I'm telling you, he's going to get fucking chin doing that. Now, you'll recall Usyk starting to bomb on this dude. Usyk starting to bomb on this dude. Up against the ropes, dude. He is fucking him up. Now, remember in the first fight, oh! None of these are super hard, but they're all landing by Usyk. Dude, look who is the fucking bully in that ring, dude? Who is the fucking bully in that ring? Good shot by Fury. Nice response. But that's an Usyk round. Who is the fucking bully? Who is the fucking bully? That little Ukrainian bastard. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. You just cannot believe the problems you have to solve to beat a guy like that. Now, in round 12 of their first fight, Fury, in my judgment, won it. I think he won it on all 3 judges' scorecards. He boxed his ass off. Let's see what happens here. But he got stuck several times here. That's an easy Usyk round. There was a nice shot at the end by Fury. I give him credit for one, but that is crazy. That Ukrainian motherfucker is something else. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Let's do it. Last round, round 12. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Looks like round 1 to Usyk. He doesn't look like he's winded even a little. Dude's almost 40. Here comes Fury chasing him a little bit. Warning him about the use of the elbow. Oh, great lancing jab. Step in by Usyk. Oh. Good uppercut to the body. Fury goes southpaw. But Usyk was lighting him up again with the body head combo. Fury holding the back of the head. Now here comes, you can hear the commentary team say it, Fury on the front foot a little bit here, clinching and grinding on him. It literally could come down to this. Usyk turning angles, not letting him get pushed and bullied. Oh, left hand by Usyk. Looks like a right hand by Fury got through. Oh, bit of a backhand there from Fury. Some of these punches are a little bit like quasi-legal. Oh, Usyk got him up against the rope, starting to do some work. Look at this fucking guy. Well, here comes Fury. Here comes Fury. Great round. Fantastic round. Oh. $30 left. Here we go. 20 seconds left. Fury goes southpaw, goes back to orthodox. Fury trying to lean on him here a little bit, but I think he's down in this one. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Oh! Oh! Usyk rocked him! I think Usyk took it. I think it's his fight to lose. I wasn't scoring super closely, but it seemed like the work rate was higher, and he seemed like he definitely had more in the second half. Dude, Usyk reminds me so much of Mayweather, which is that if you don't beat him in the first 6 rounds, man, it's going to be a lot harder in the last 6. Now, we don't know what the scores are going to be. This is a close fight, I think. But it does seem to me like the work rate in the second half of that fight was heavily skewed towards Usyk, and he should have won at least some in the first half. That should be enough to get the job done. Again, I wasn't judging it as such. Maybe you guys feel a little bit differently. Let me know. Great fight. Not as good as the first one, but a great fight. Arab Bay Area says, you criticize Turkey constantly. You interviewed Mo Jassim from ADCC, who more or less does the same for a different country and sport. I think if you think that Mo Jassim has the same effect in relationship to combat sports as Turkey, then you have a very warped sense of reality. Cosmo says, children are sickness machines, so I wouldn't be surprised if your daughter coughing in your mouth gave you everything under the sun. Yes, indeed. OG McGee, I think this fight is better than the first. It was more action-packed, but I guess it had less drama because it didn't have that punctuated 9th round moment. Johnston says, if I crank stream this fight, will Turkey come and do unspeakable things to me? No, I think he'll leave you alone this time. LOL at calling 6'3", 225, a little bit Usyk, little. Yeah, but like relative to who he's fighting, he is. That's the point. Boom, jab. Cross kind of gets through a little bit. Fury rolls with the one off his shoulder. Now, don't go anywhere, boys and girls. There's going to be a post-fight show. We're going to wait for the decision, and then we're going to talk about what we saw. Stick around for the post-fight show. Good body shots by Fury in some of these highlights. Boom. Boom. Oof. Fury doing a good job in rolling with a lot of that. Let me be clear about this. This is close enough for the judges to absolutely score this either direction. I mean, you may not personally feel that way, but I'm just telling you based on how boxing works, that's absolutely on the table. Joshua has Usyk winning it. I also would have him winning it. Let's see. All right. Here we go. All three. 116, 112. Wow. Oleksandr Usyk. He won it cleanly. He won it cleanly. They didn't fuck him at all. I think that's a good scorecard. I think that's a very good scorecard. Here's Usyk talking to, look, I'll show it. Well, yeah, you can kind of see it here. Talking to Turkey a little bit, right? There's your winner, boys and girls. Oleksandr Usyk. He got it done. 116, 112 on all three judges' scorecards. I'm not going to say made it look easy, but he won it pretty clean. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hear him talk, and then we're going to do the post-fight show. Stick around for that. Stick around for that. Almost anticlimactic in a way. I mean, he just beat him kind of cleanly. I think 116, 112 is totally fair. How did the AI judge score it? The AI judge. Oh, the AI judge had it 118, 112 for Usyk. Here. Had it 118, 112. That seems a little wide. That seems a little wide. Yeah, 8-4 seems fine. 10-2. Tyson Fury won 2 rounds. That AI judge is shit. That AI judge is shit. So stick around, everyone. We're going to do the post-fight show here in just a minute. We're waiting for Usyk to speak, and then we'll get that going. Let me get this ready for you. I want to show you what this scorecard looked like here, if I may. All right, let me get this and see what you guys think of this scorecard. All right, here is, I'm going to save this. I'm going to show this to you. Check this out. This is the AI judges scorecard. See what you guys think of it. Okay, that's the AI judge scorecard. So the only rounds that they gave Tyson Fury were round 2 and round 5. They didn't give them any. It didn't give him any other round. I would need to see some of the numbers on that to see to what extent that matches any statistical performance. But there you have it. The AI judge scoring it just 2 rounds for Tyson Fury. That seems personally a little bit off the mark. Rob says, "Glory to Ukraine." Yeah, I mean, this Usyk and that whole team and Lomachenko, all those guys, Vodzdik, all putting them out on their back, but obviously special by Usyk. Tuchang says, "Turkey standing next to Usyk when scorecards were being read was a clear giveaway." Who was about to win? Yeah, fair enough. I was kind of looking at my hand, the floor. Are we going to get a interview here? We're waiting on the interview, and then we'll get this. Here we go. All right. Here's the interview. Do you think the scorecards were correct? He says. Let's see what he says. Yeah. He goes, "I win." Like, whatever. Yeah, I win. Thank you, God. Allen would have been good with 115, 113 either way. All right, they're asking the same thing I brought up, which is how is it you're always better in the second half? Because he's a fucking master boxer. That's why. My wife helped me. His sons take judo. Wait. What's Daniel Dubois doing? What the fuck are you doing, guy? So Dubois just rolls in there saying, "I want my rematch because of the robbery." Oh, I guess that answers that. He'll fight with Daniel Dubois. Or he's asking, like, what do you make of Tyson Fury? Great fighter, great opponent. Starts speaking Ukrainian. I don't know what he's saying. Carl says, "I'm more of a casual boxing fan, but something I really appreciate is how good elite boxers are from 6 rounds on." Dude, there's just it's that's where the quicksand shows up. And then he's been giving glory to Ukraine. Cedric says the Riyadh season looks oddly familiar. The logo, I don't know what it would be. Elmir, Adelaide Bird programmed AI judge. It's a little strong, but I know what you. Oh, look at that! There are two guys getting it in. And he's giving glory to his mother and then all the mothers of Ukraine. That's cool. Mike Booble says, "What does the AI judge think of the smart cage?" Probably thinks he's a whore. Michael Jardine, AI judge scored 2 10-10s. Shit sucks. Oh, it did. I didn't even. Wait. Did I miss that? Hold on. It had 2 10-10s? Yes, the first round and the last. That is awesome. That is fucking awesome. That is awesome. Oh, that is great. Oh, that is so funny. That is fantastic. Oh, man. Oh, that is so great. I got a good laugh out of that one. Hold on just a second. We're gonna get this thing going here. So there's Frank Warren. He thinks Fury won the fight. Are you out of your fucking mind, Frank Warren? What the fuck are they giving? What the fuck? Oh, a sword. Usyk walking around with a sword. All right. I don't really give a fuck what he's saying. All right, let me get these numbers up because we got to get this going. Waiting on these last numbers from Usyk and Fury. All right. Is that it? That's it. Okay. Let's get this post-fight show started. Let's recap everything we just saw. So thank you for everyone who has stuck with me here. Thank you for everyone who's watching. Let's take a moment. Let's reset. Okay. Thumbs up if you're watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't. If you want to get into questions, we can talk about it. You can fire into the super chat if you already have and you don't want to. That's cool. I'm just glad you're here. You can just watch for free. But if you subscribe and you like the video, it doesn't cost you nothing. And it helps me a lot. Okay. But I appreciate you here being here just the same. So the rematch is now over. It is in the books. We have everything. I've got the stats up from the first fight by CompuBox. I don't have the stats from the second one. So I'm waiting on those for a second because I want to see how they compare. Although it wasn't really close enough that we have to like hardcore dissect it in that way to see exactly where he fell off in the end. I think in some ways it's a little bit straightforward. But your winner of all the belts except the IBF one, which is the one that Daniel Dubois has, is Oleksandr Usyk. He wins on all three judges' scorecards, 116 to 112. I know there were some folks that had some concerns that Fury was kind of the favored guy here. You had seen Turkey, Alashik, and this is not me being unfair to him. I'm not the only one saying this. And like promotional material, kind of really talking to Fury about like, okay, this time you got to go after him, and this time you got to do it, almost making it seem like he was favoring him a little bit, or at a bare minimum, it did feel like on the ground between media and everybody else that there was a little bit of momentum for Fury to get the win so that there could be a trilogy. It'd be better for boxing. It'd be a bigger fight. It'd be a bigger occasion. It would be just a greater sort of set of circumstances. But much like he has for very long stretches of his career, there are the plans that the people in boxing make around him. And then there is just the fucking wrecking ball that is Oleksandr Usyk. And he shred those plans and never let them come to fruition today with a very, very, very good performance, a elite performance, if ever there was one. I said this during the middle of the broadcast, and I'm going to repeat it here for folks who might be just joining us at the moment, which is that if there was something that really kind of signified the strength of Mayweather in his prime or at the end of his prime, certainly at a bare minimum, if you didn't get enough rounds to win in the first six, you're going to be fucked in the latter half of that bout. You got the first 6 rounds to do something, and if you don't really get it going there, it's curtains for you. And Usyk has exactly that same kind of gene. Usyk isn't just good down the stretch when he needs to be. Usyk is clutch. There have been multiple times at cruiserweight against some of his toughest foes, Breedis and others, in that Super 6 series, and certainly at heavyweight as well. There's been rounds he needed to win, moments he needed to win, in position he needed to have, and he was able to do it. But the interesting part about this one is, for as clutch as he is, and of course, he came through here again yet today in just the most remarkable of fashion, he didn't really have to rescue any part of this. He was never, it seemed like, super down at any point. It was closely contested, in my view, whatever the fucking AI judge was doing. It was still, obviously, it felt a little bit pins and needles in big parts of it. But I just really want to take a moment to appreciate a guy undefeated, and has achieved essentially at the highest level everywhere he has gone. He has done winning an Olympic gold medal, clearing out cruiserweight, and now becoming the guy at heavyweight of his generation. 2 times against Joshua, 2 times against Fury, beating Dubois. He's special in ways that are almost hard to describe. You just won't see boxing talent like this very often. You could watch boxing another 30 years and not necessarily see a guy quite like this. He is one of one, a unique personality, a unique look to him, a unique way of being. Part of a bigger system, obviously, and part of, as I mentioned before, that the amateur Ukrainian team that he and Lomachenko and Vazdik and others were all part of. But just such a special master craftsman. And we had said, was this fight going to be, the first round of this, was it going to be round 13 of the last one? Or was it going to be round 1 of the new one? And I think it felt to me a little bit more like round 13 of the last one. And by that, I mean, yes, Fury did make a strong account of himself. As I mentioned, he won round 12 on all 3 judges' scorecards in the first fight between them. But the interplay between them didn't necessarily change, in the sense of Usyk knew what he needed to do, and Fury was able to change some stuff. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. But there was no real fundamental shift. That it wasn't a different fight necessarily, in the sense of like the basic kind of way in which they match up was thrown out, and it was a completely different contest. And one guy was really fighting out of a deficit in ways they didn't before, or it didn't recognize it. You recognize this fight in its similarities to the first one. Let me pull this up here if I can get this over here. I'm waiting on these numbers from CompuBox. I want to show them to you when they come up here. Let's see what we got. Yes, here we go. Now I got them. All right, we're going to take a look at these here in just a second. This fight, to me, I take 2 real big lessons, one from each guy. Fury, to me, did better defensively. In part, you can tell that because he didn't get rocked super bad like he did the last time. Like, he was able to avoid, at a bare minimum, the worst. And none of that was necessarily accidental. Hold on just a second. I'm getting messages here. Okay. Fury did a much better job defensively this time. Now, he did make some key errors, especially down the stretch. His movement wasn't as good in terms of his turning off the angle. He got pressed against the ropes more. He got pushed literally into the turnbuckle at one point by Usyk. But in general, he was much better about being away from those spaces. That was a big one for me. And again, turning southpaw, he's done that in previous fights and paid for it. But in this particular case, it wasn't fatal necessarily. I don't think it served him all that much, but it wasn't fatal. But the big thing to me was a little bit different. Remember, he was able to keep a hand up, the rear hand this time, to avoid what you've seen how Usyk can pair shots to the body and then come upstairs. He can change the timing on it. You just have to be aware of that, especially off the angle turn and at the end of what you're punching. You did see a better job from Fury in that. He had a long guard this time. He always uses a long guard, or at least to a lot of extent he uses a long guard. He was able to effectively recapture certain forms of position. So he had better use of real estate and ring generalship to some extent anyway, in the ring itself. That was big. Better about bringing his hands up to defend himself. And again, posting off the long guard, underhooking, scoring, uppercutting, grabbing, clinching to avoid some of the counters. And then we saw another big change, which was bringing the guard up before. Again, what does Fury do in the first fight? It's a lot of razzle dazzle. It's leaning the head in and pulling it out. It's shoulder rolling. It's bobbing. It's weaving. But a lot of times when you do that, as I mentioned before, you have to bring your feet with you in order to make that style very effective. And he would just surrender a ton of real estate. And so now he's fighting up against the ropes for much longer than he necessarily needs to. And Usyk, a master of open stance fights with that lead outside foot positioning, which, by the way, you don't always have to have, but one way he likes to use it is to force off that angle Fury to come inside to his own power hand. Fury was able to, I think, relative to the first fight, avoid the worst of that. But here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. You are fighting Oleksandr Usyk. And good fighters take advantage of the mistakes that their opponents make. Great fighters make them make it. And it's not like Tyson Fury hasn't been great in certain respects in his own way at times, but the ability to make adjustments between rounds is extraordinary with Usyk. And I really want to take a moment to talk about why that is so special, what he does. I want to explain to you why this is difficult. Even experienced, talented boxers, and this is true for any kind of combat sports where they have like rounds or period, like in wrestling, they have periods or, you name it, depending on the rule set, where they have to change, talk to their coaches, rethink, re-strategize, come back out, and they've got a plan that they went in with. Parts of it work, parts of it doesn't. They got to adapt on the fly. Part of it is just diagnosing not just what has gone wrong, but like what the solution is, right? That's one problem. Like, can you actually identify what the answer is that you have to have in order to solve this problem? That's the first problem. That is not an obvious thing. That's actually a much harder thing to diagnose in real time, effectively anyway. And then the second part is, can you actually pull it off? It's one thing to actually be able to observe what the problem is. Do you then have the technical mastery to implement that change in an effective way to have a meaningful effect on the fight? These are very difficult things to do. This is a difficult thing to do in literally, again, any sport that has cessation of play or intermittent pauses. Basketball, American football, you name it. We have a moment to recollect, re-strategize, position here, position there, blah, blah, blah. They're faking off this side. We push them to that one. And you have to be able to make these reads and then implement the adjustments. These are the most difficult things to do in the world at elite sports. Diagnosing the problem, understanding what the effective solution is, and then making an implementation that actually works. And Usyk does it every fucking time. Every time. Almost instantly. It's shocking to watch. You just can't believe it. I mean, I'm overstating it a little bit, but the relative consistency that he is able to show fight over fight, back half of the fight over back half of the fight with this opponent, that opponent, this is what they're giving me. As I mentioned, that clutch gene that I talked about before, dude, this guy is your fucking problem solver extraordinaire. Extraordinary ability to do that. Is he the biggest guy in that division? No. Is he the most powerful guy in that division? No. Is he the quickest guy in that division? No. Is he, with the longest dimensions, which obviously is not necessarily always that relevant in MMA for the MMA fans watching, but can be, of course, very, very relevant in boxing, both height and reach? No. None of those physical advantages or body types that would confer a certain set of advantages are the things that he really uses. I mean, is he athletic? Of course. Like, does he have good pop? Yes, he does. Like, is he fast enough for that to matter, especially against, bigger guys? Yes. Like, there is something to be said for that. But those are not like his trademark. His trademark is we talked about this on the live chat this week, boxing fight IQ through the fucking roof. Off the charts. Decision making in the middle of a fight, in the middle of a round, between rounds, over the course of a fight, and implementing it when you need to, when it's required, and having it be implemented effectively. Fight IQ. Ladies and gentlemen, if someone was asking me, like, what does fight IQ really mean? That. Because what did Usyk really do to all of that? He had any number of different solutions to make that work. Going to the body constantly, right, to both draw out the jab, and that allowed him to then find hooking shots later on over the top. Just by the way, pure volume and aggression, effective aggression, not like relentless, raw, aggro aggression, but a certain intensity, a certain kind of pace, and putting it on him, wearing down an opponent. Obviously, this is all like pre-planned, but it was again implemented. But the change on the fly, the big one that I really sort of pointed to in real time, and I'm sure there'll be many more. I'll do a breakdown on this fight, of course, for this channel, was when Tyson, who did not, again, when you're doing this, a lot of times your feet will go with you when you pull back and you surrender position, and he was ending up fighting on the back foot so much up against the ropes in the first fight. So this time you saw him bring the hands up and bring the guard. Well, what did Usyk do? Touch, 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 occupy the guard, shot to the body, hook upstairs. And then on the retreat, as Tyson begins to pull out, when he's moving out, it's harder to punch when you're moving backwards. Of course, you can do it, but especially if you're pivoting on one leg and turning, right? These like real off balance kind of ways where you're just not in an effective position to punch. Here's Usyk chasing you down. And even if he doesn't connect with you there, once you have stopped pivoting or you've come to a place where you can no longer retreat, he's still on top of you, getting extra shots the whole way through. It's a marriage of what they had planned to do, probably with volume, as well as an implementation to some of the changes that Tyson Fury introduced, as well as just some of the in-fight realities that they wanted to account for at the present moment. Dude, you're talking about a guy that I'm not going to tell you is impossible to beat. Nobody's impossible to beat. But how do you solve for a guy who you might have tons of physical advantages over, but he's a genius? Like, how do you solve that problem? It's the same one that all these guys had against Mayweather. Mayweather wasn't the biggest puncher. Mayweather wasn't Zab Judah was faster than Mayweather. Mayweather wasn't the fastest one. He wasn't, he didn't hit as hard. None of those things. He wasn't the biggest guy. Excuse me. None of those things. He had none of those things. But what he did have was a level of boxing intelligence that they just simply couldn't do anything about. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't deal with it. That's what you got. You just got a guy. He's so impressive. It blows me away. I cannot believe how fucking good he is. It is just remarkable. And so you saw many of the trademarks from the first fight. Lead outside foot positioning, forcing him over to the left side. Getting underneath that jab to go to the body, the stab to the body, the stab to the body. So he brought back some of the hallmarks, the trademarks that worked well the first time that you can build off of, right? It's sort of modular. The first time we'll do these kinds of jabs to the body and then build out from there, different attacks for the first fight. And then in this one, having to go to a separate set of attacks, but just finding all the different ways to do it. And then, Fury did do a better job of being off of the back foot this time relative to the first one, no question. But down the stretch, he kind of got pushed there more and more and more and more. And so he inevitably kind of found himself in a position where that was the case. Now, we got these CompuBox stats. I want to take a look at these. Okay. Let's do this. So, let me show them to you. Okay. These are today. These are the CompuBox stats from today. So let's look at some of these numbers here. For Usyk, total punches 179 out of 423, jabs 73. He attempted 211 power punches. Dude, he landed 50% of his power punches. Get the fuck out of here. 34%, basically 35% of his total jabs. And then obviously, look at this. 42% of his punches landed to just 28% to Tyson Fury. Now, Fury attempted more overall, but it was so inefficient with it. Completely inefficient. Much more efficiency down the line. And even the power punches, which is, by the way, in the first fight, it was the power punches that were kind of beating some of the jabbing of Usyk, at least in the early to kind of mid rounds. Obviously, it changed down the stretch a little bit. Not even the case in this one. So Usyk's stats, 42, 34, and 50. In the first fight, it was 41, 33, 46. So it actually went up a little bit on virtually all of them. Yeah, it went up on all of them. Literally went up on all of them. Fury in the first one, 28%, 17%. Sorry, Fury in the second one, 28%. I'll show it to you. 28%, 17%, 39%, basically. So 28, 8, let's say 28, 17, and 39. And this one, it would be 31. He'll see drop off there, 21 drop off there, and 45. His numbers went down in every way. Now look at these attempts by Fury. This is what we talked about beforehand. Let me make this a little bit larger so you guys can see. I apologize if it's a little bit hard. There we go. Now you can see a little bit better. Check this out. All right, here we go. Look at some of these numbers. This is the first fight. So this is not tonight. This is the first fight. These are attempted jabs. Ready? 32. That's what we're talking about, that 30 benchmark. 31, 33, but it kind of drops off here. 26, 29, 24. And now you get into the teens. He recovers a little bit in round 10, and then that's it. Let's take a look at tonight for jabs and Fury. 13 down, 27 down, 25 down, 23 down, 26. Kind of he has a little bit of a nice spot here, but it's still way down from that benchmark. Then you're down to the low 20s. Now you're into the teens, and he kind of rallies here a little bit. But overall, he could not get that jabbing, at least on an attempted mark, anywhere close to where he was before. That was a key and crucial element of the first fight that he just was not able to get going here. Dude, this is such a part of the story. The fucking work rate of Usyk is insane. He landed total punches 179 tonight out of 423. In the first fight, he landed 170 out of 407. So he was able to dial it up. Fury in the first fight was 157 of 496. Tonight, 144 of 509. One thing you see consistently across combat sports, especially in the striking arts, the guys who are really good are able to suppress the sort of baseline, or even they're able to suppress the statistical performance of their opponents over the expanse of a fight. Whatever you think that they're capable of showing, whatever they might have statistically been able to show in history, even against a guy previously in their other meetings, they're able to consistently lower that bar about just what they're able to do. Usyk had a high work rate overall, finding ways. Well, let's look at some of his numbers here tonight. This was tonight. Jabs by Usyk by round 2, 8, 3, 4, 6, 6, 5. Only got double digits in the end there. Let me see total punches. So 16, 12, 10, 15, 14, 12, 15, 21 in round 9. Jesus, he only had single digits in one round in this fight. In the first fight, he had 2 of them and almost 3 because round 12 was just 10. Actually, no, he did have 3 of them. He had 3 rounds. No, he only had 2. I apologize. I'm looking at Fury's numbers here. My mistake. You get the idea. I'm not going to belabor these points anymore because the numbers are a little bit, you can go too far into this. But you get the idea. Lowering his output, taking that away. Let me pull up some of these other numbers here from tonight. I'll just stick to those if we can see anything. I'm going to show them to you one more time. I'm going to see if there's anything else that stands out. Just better numbers overall. And let's look at total punches landed and thrown down the stretch for Fury. So Fury's landing 6, then 11, then 11, then 11, kind of sort of stasis there. 13, 10, and then drops off, has a bit of a rally here in terms of what he can land, 16, 15, 14, and 16. So he has a little bit better in terms of overall volume late, but it wasn't really enough to make up the difference. Meanwhile, how many rounds did Usyk have a greater number? Again, this is just a numeric total. They tied in round 1. Oh, that's why I gave it a 10-10, that bullshit AI judge. Usyk outscored him in round 2, outscored him in round 3. Again, these are by numeric totals. Outscored him in round 5, outscored him in round 6, outscored him in round 7, outscored him in round 8, outscored him in round 9, outscored him in round 10, outscored him in round 11, and outscored him in round 12. Guys, he was just putting more work in, those consistent jabs to the body, pulling it out. The story of the fight is, sure, did Fury do some things that would put him in less defensive trouble overall? Yes. But now it ended up being death by 1,000 cuts. And more than that, obviously, it went down. He got tagged with some real shots, but you know what I mean? He didn't get that big bombed on round 9 moment. Okay, he kind of escaped that. He escaped some of the doors that Usyk was able to unlock the first time. But he was able, Usyk, by a steady, aggressive work rate, to just be consistently ahead of him, stepping on the gas. Again, these are quantitative totals, not qualitative totals. So that doesn't mean he won all those rounds, but you get the idea. You get the idea of what he's able to do here. Fury kept himself safe, especially from worst case scenarios, but he limited what he could do. And Usyk took away so much of what he was able to do and then was able to find a lane for himself, as we explained, with the high guard, off the retreats, pressuring into him, getting underneath the jab, going to the body, angling out, forcing him to the left. Incredible. Incredible. He's just incredible. He's incredible. There's a big question. Obviously, folks are going to ask, like, where do both guys go from here? Now, maybe Dubois gets that title fight and they do a second Dubois and Usyk fight. I don't really have much of an interest in seeing it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they make it, I'm happy to watch. But if Usyk called it a day, would anybody blame him? If Usyk called it a day, what would you say? Like, you know, he didn't do enough. He did plenty. He did plenty. He's just so remarkable. But, you know, Father Time is undefeated. Dubois looked amazing against Anthony Joshua. You know, it's a dangerous fight as well. He already won the first one. There obviously is some controversy about that belt line shot, you know. But nevertheless, if they went that direction, I'd be totally cool with it. And by the way, remember, the first time Usyk and Fury fought, all 4 belts were on the line. This time it was just 3 of them. But I mean, plus Ring Magazine. But you know what I mean, of the sanctioning bodies. If they fought Dubois, well, that would be different, because then that would be for all 4 belts again, because he has the IBF. So you could do that. For Fury, I don't know where you go, but I'll say this. My appetite in seeing him fight Anthony Joshua is high. I don't know how the rest of you feel. I don't know if the Saudis want to make it. I don't know if they make it. I mean, it seems to me if you did a fight like that, it'd be a crime not to have it in the UK, right? You could fill, I mean, AJ can fill Wembley, no problem. AJ can fill Tottenham, no problem. I mean, AJ can fill any stadium, it seems like, in the country. And against Fury, it seems like a no-brainer to me, right? I mean, you would just print money with a fight like that, and I would absolutely love to see it. The stakes have obviously changed for a fight like that, since now Usyk has basically proven to be the guy of this generation, almost no matter what at this point. But nevertheless, I think that there is still a gigantic market for that. I truly believe that boxing would be better off for it if they made it. And honestly, I think that fight is still pretty competitive. I don't know what state Joshua is in after that brutal loss to Dubois. That certainly makes a big question. You cannot say Fury looked bad tonight, right? He was, in essence, outclassed by, you know, a master boxer, but he didn't look like crap tonight. He didn't look like he was unprepared tonight. I don't know how much the extra weight really serviced him. I think he kind of slowed down the stretch. And so, you know, was there really a material benefit to it? I don't know, but he didn't look bad. He didn't look like a shell of himself. He threw until, I mean, again, he threw in round 12. Round 12 was his busiest round, only tying numbers with round 9. He attempted 16 of 51 in round 9. He attempted 16 of 51 in round 12. You know what I mean? Like, he was still kind of out there trying and having some success, obviously, as well. So I would absolutely be totally in favor of an all UK showdown. Honestly, I'll say this. That fight would be fucking electric. It'd be electric, would it not? It'd be one of the most fun things boxing could have. And honestly, the UK needs big fights like that to take place in the UK. I hope that they make it, and I hope that they put it in one of those big stadiums there. It'd be great for all parties involved. All those guys would get rich, and it would kind of settle a question about, you know, not who is better than Usyk, but okay, not counting him, who's the other guy? Wilder seems to be out of the sweepstakes, and Fury got the best of him anyway. You know, Ruiz is not really relevant. Dubois is got business with Usyk. But there's something to be said about that kind of never claimed fight. There's been times that the fight was supposed to happen, or rumored it was going to happen, or we needed it to happen, and it didn't really happen. Now is as good a time as any. And I really don't think there'd be some, you know, gross I should say, I don't think there'd really be some like, oh, we can't really sell this, or the, who really wants to see that? I want to see that. That seems fucking awesome, to be honest with you. So, but tonight belongs to Oleksandr Usyk. Tonight belongs to that guy. I'm looking at power punches by Fury as well. 3, 5, 6. So he had double digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. How many did he have double digits in the first fight for Fury power punches? He had 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, just 4. Yeah. So he had a little bit more in terms of double digit work, but not that much. Fury 2 on the jabs, 2. How many did he ever have double digits? 1 time in the jabs. How about the first fight? He never got there. Yeah, but still inefficient in terms of what we again, we saw those numbers. All of his numbers. Total punches went down, total landed went down, total jabs went down. By the way, Fury attempted total jabs, including body, let's see, 252 times this night. And what was it last time? 286. Yeah, this is what I mean. Just constantly lowering on every metric. Whatever you were that time, we're going to chip away at it. Whatever you were this time, we're going to chip away at it. This time, chip away at it. And the accumulative total of that, no pun intended, is that you just did less. You just did less overall. Fucking remarkable. While Usyk was able to dial up just a little bit. All of those little pieces of performance along the way. Amazing. What an amazing technician. I say this all the time, man, and I really believe it. And when you watch fights long enough, like, I really think that you should. I mean, I'm sure many of you have come to this position, and I kind of say it a lot, but there's just a lot of guys when you cover both MMA and boxing where this is a thing that you run into, which is, dude, having lived through Pacquiao's run, having lived through Mayweather's run, to an extent, Juan Manuel Marquez, and others as well. Locally, like a Lamont Peterson. I mean, he's not on that level, but I'm saying, like, as a local guy, you see these special guys long enough, and you begin to realize that, like, it is a fan. You can just change the wording, but it's the same relationship, dude. It's an honor to cover Oleksandr Usyk's career, man. It's an honor. Somebody doing something that special, that difficult, that meaningful, that well. It's just extremely unusual. And at another point too, like, active. This, I'll give a shout out to Dan Canobio and Chris Algieri. They made a point, like, after the first time that Wilder and Fury fought, there was like a big gap before there was a rematch. I don't know how long ago, it was a year, 18 months, or whatever it ended up being, but it wasn't immediate. They had fights in between. These two guys got right back at it. So Usyk is out there getting right back at it, staying active, taking on challenges. Oh, you won one time? You want the rematch calls? We can do it again. Getting right after it, and just affirming his status. Dude, it's good for fans that he's out there doing it, but, like, the uniqueness of the achievement cannot be overstated. It cannot be overstated. Unify and destroy a weight class, and then take over the next one, and giving these guys multiple chances at getting him, and they can't get any closer. In fact, it gets even harder the second time around. The only way you can explain that is that, like, we throw around this term like generational talent. That is a generational talent. That guy doing something that special. It's just, it's an honor, if you're a fan, to be able to watch guys like that in your lifetime. I missed Ali. I missed Foreman for the most part. I got a little bit of Mike Tyson, but I was a kid or a teenager. It wasn't quite the same, as I am now, where I have like an ability to watch these fights in a kind of like a dedicated way. It's an honor to watch, like, on the MMA side, your Max Holloways and your Jose Aldos and your, you name it. Again, Floyd is not a great character as a person, but, like, as a boxer, like, in that sense, it was an incredible honor. And then certainly in the case of Usyk, dude, like, when he retires, the sport is automatically less interesting. Not many guys can do that. He could fucking do that. If you've got a question or a comment you want to fire into the super chat, we'll take a look at those now. Let's see what you got. Probably not many at this point, but I'd be happy to see what you guys have. Again, The AI judge scoring 2-10-10s is fucking awesome. Oh, that is awesome. Lewis says, "Did you see the documentary about you posted today?" I did not. People have sent it to me. I've not seen it. It was by Combat Capital. Luke Thomas told the truth about UFC and paid the price for it. I've not seen it. I've not seen it. If it's good, great. If it's not, listen. I don't know what to say about it because I've not seen it, but I tend to think that hearing feedback about yourself is important. And I'm not saying that this is good or bad feedback. I don't know enough, but I tend to find that I have to be a little selective about what I absorb, because it can have an outsized effect one way or the other, positive or negative. But if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, there's nothing I can really do about it, So, yeah. OG says, watch them try AI judging for real, then backtrack and take that shit down real fast as they get even more bonkers results. Did you guys see the message by Jabber? That's the one that does. Okay. So Jabber is the one that does the real-time stats. Now, CompuBox has their own numbers, but I mean like the ones that they were showing on the screen for this particular broadcast. And it's a stats compilation, and they do use AI for some stuff. They do motion tracking, the whole 9 yards. They put out a statement today basically saying that whatever they're using on their broadcast as the AI judge is not really our software. It's not really us. And they believe that they actually can use AI. And they did a demo. They put out a YouTube video. I watched it today. And they showed the fight between Gabriel Maestre and Michael Fox. And that's one of the crazy robberies. And they're like, an AI judge that under our system would have gotten that right, which I can believe. So could it be a situation where you avoid some of the worst of judging by use of some of these systems? That is certainly possible, right? You miss some of the worst rivalries, but that's low-hanging fruit. What we need is to solve the ones that are hard to discern. And I know that they probably think that they can do that, and maybe they can. I'm more skeptical that they can, but I want to be clear. I do like Jabber. I like them a lot. I like their proprietary software. I like what the stats are that they produce. I think that they produce real value. The question is that value judging? But as I said before, guys, the Saudis made a 1-minute sizzle reel. They had no third-party validation that it was tested. They didn't make any effort to show you how it worked. They didn't show you that we had been iterating this and working on this formula. They didn't demonstrate the technology. They just told you that we have it. And people were like, oh, what's the future of this? There isn't one. Not in the way that they were using it. There might be one down the line in a different way. But what they're showing you is just bullshit. It's just obvious bullshit. But people are they're putting Gemini in your Gmail. They're putting Apple Intelligence in your iPhone. They're just shoving this shit like AI, whether the product is good, whether it is ready, whether it is helpful, whether it's even real. And we're just asked to kind of entertain this. It's oh, the future is upon us. The robots are going to take over. Guys, get the fuck out of here with this. And then you had 2 10-10 rounds, and it's just closely mapping what is, just numeric totals in fights. And then on top of that, the people who are the sort of the people who do this correctly are that's not even our shit. Okay. Not Dick says, did Fury look like he recovered after Usyk had him rocked? Fury looked like he lost a bit of speed and pop in championship rounds. Yes. I don't remember exactly which round it was where he got taken to school a little bit in that one. Again, it never really went too bad for him, but he got drilled a little bit. But at the same time, statistically, Fury was able to kind of have a little bit of a decent performance. Let me go back and look at the numbers here in the second fight. I mean, again, he had double-digit total punches obviously thrown and landed from the 8th round on. You know what I mean? So it's he definitely, it wasn't as meaningful what he was doing, but he still was kind of with it enough to keep trying in a consistent way. It's just, I think he wasn't moving as well. I don't think the defense was as disciplined, right? Because Usyk's numbers go up in those latter rounds as well. Usyk's numbers go way up. He goes, and from the same rounds, he goes 15 to Usyk to Fury's 12, 21 to his 16, 16 to his 15, 10's close, 22 to his 14 in round 11, and then 20 to 16 in round. He had him all. He just sort of one step ahead. So as much as Fury was doing more, Usyk was doing even more than that. Like, that's the other part about fighting Usyk. It's like, oh, I want to be more defensive. Okay, well, now you can do less. Oh, I want to open up. Okay, but then now he opens up. You you got to pick your poison. How, like here's the Oleksandr Usyk problem. Red pill, blue pill. Choose which way you would like to lose. That's really, you want to lose with more volume or less volume. You know what I mean? Like, you want to lose a defensive game plan or an offensive game. You're going to lose regardless. Like, that's really what you're up against with him. It's like you can fight these different gears and these kind of different ways. And again, I do think that there is a general defensive improvement in how Fury was able to survive or not, avoid the worst for sure. But it also limited him. And Usyk was able to just stay ahead and build. Ridiculous. Cosmo says, instead of a 10-9 must, the AI judge uses 10-9 suggestion. Yeah, but that does, I mean, I'm not even sure what that's supposed to mean. Like, guys, I'm not opposed to the idea that at some point in the future, could we get really sophisticated software and human input and the like to get up to a place where this is a decently reliable system of effective judging. I think we can. We are barely scratching the surface of being ready for that. Like, I know there's Gemini on Gmail and like there's Apple Intelligence on your phone, but like as a product that can do this, we're not ready for that yet. We're not ready. It's going to take time. Brent says, AITA, because I think the AI judge scoring 2 rounds 10-10 is a good thing. Am I the asshole? 1 round I could get by on it. 2 rounds, no. And definitely not the second round that they scored. What was the second one that they scored, right? I believe I saw the first one. Yeah, they scored round 12, 10-10. Fuck no. Round 1, I could maybe see that, but not round 10. Or round 12, excuse me. No. I don't see that at all. LW says, the UK TNT broadcast was kind of biased. BIASED. You cannot be biased. You can be biased. You got to conjugate, bro. But even then, I had a closer fight than you did. I want a trilogy. I'd rather him fight Dubois at this point. You know? Relevant username says, pissed that Usyk won because I want more. Amazing matchup. I can understand that to a degree. Carl says, if Tyson Fury's career ends tonight, it's possible. I hope not. How does he age legacy-wise as a great heavyweight? Well, he was the guy, right, when he unseated Klitschko, who was like the torchbearer. He was going to be him. I know that obviously Joshua won it later against Klitschko, was on a better fight, by the way, but Fury was the guy and then fell apart and then came back and he was the one taking on Wilder. Like, it was all set up for him to be the guy of this generation of great heavyweights, and there was many of this generation. But I think it's going to end up being that he's the second best guy. But I still an electric force in the division. One of the great trilogies in heavyweight history with Wilder. I do believe that is true. And, a physical marvel of a guy who at his best elite with his movement and defensive awareness and, hard to hit, even though he's a big target in certain ways. Like, he added a lot of force and personality to this era of heavyweight boxing. I mean, without him, it's a lot less interesting, and a lot less relevant, honestly. Uncanny says, has Usyk passed Holyfield for best cruiser heavyweight? Yeah, I think he has. I think he's beaten enough good guys multiple times now for that to be the case. Yes. JP says, becoming an MMA fan has diminished my willingness to call the heavyweight boxing the baddest man on the planet, considering Jones, Aspinall, Francis fuck Usyk up proper in any real altercation. There is no such thing as a real altercation. There are only different rule sets. One is not more real than the other. There is no such thing as real. It doesn't exist. But I know what you mean. They have a wider skill set. But I think the longer you become a real combat sports fan, the more you realize that shit doesn't matter. It's less interesting to me. That like, oh, he could beat him on leg kicks. Right, but Usyk's never trained that, so who gives a fuck? And also, like, the ability to develop the kind of skill from a narrowed skill set, right? Because you don't have to worry about takedowns or head kicks or arm bars. You don't have to worry about that stuff. So you have to the polish and the refinement of skill, because you have a more constrained combat universe. It brings out a greater depth of ability. Everyone's a jack of all trades, a master of none in MMA. Well, tonight you saw a master. And thank you to Eric for gifting a membership. Rajon says, sucks we never got to see the trilogy of, or the triangle, you're right, excuse me, of Joshua, Fury, and Wilder. Yeah. And now Wilder's like just fucking mega washed. I don't know what to say. A moment in time that passed. Alan says, Luke, you're really overstating Usyk's effectiveness in this fight. It was a close fight. It was a close fight. But Usyk was sort of like lightly but consistently better. And that ends up being a lot. Carl says, round 12 at 10-10, AI is never taking over. Again, that's not even the real. They were using like a demoed version. They weren't even using the real thing. What were people expecting? Johnny says, kind of like what Chuck once said about Izzy and Poatan. We thought it was the story of Wilder, Joshua, and Fury, but in the end, it wasn't any of them. Yeah. Well, in the end, Izzy is also the second best middleweight of all time, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Usyk came in and just kind of like a bull in a china shop took over. Patient Panda says, I love Ariel, but it's not like his videos get tons of views compared to you and MK. Why is it what the fuck is this? I appreciate the support, but I'm not interested in like random Ariel slander. I'm focused on what I got to do and what I can control from my career, Ikram Madine says, Luke, Dubois is fighting Parker in February. You're right. You're right. Needs to get past him first. You're so right. Great. I'm so glad you brought that up. I had completely forgotten about that. Thank you, sir. But by the way, a great fight as well. Joseph Parker looked pretty fucking good recently, so I'm okay with that. And I guess that guy can fight Usyk if they want, Alan Davis says, Luke, you're out of control. Neither was overall effective. Fury lost the fight as a function of stepping off the pedal and conceding space at the end. To an extent, that's true. Fury jab and center ring control nullified a lot. Also true, but it also nullified. I mean, he said he got away from the jab as the fight went on. He got away of the ring control as the fight went on to a degree. Again, better than the last one, but it nullified his numbers. His numbers went down across the board, while Usyk's numbers went up across the board. You must make an account for that. You can still say that's still close, and it is. You're 100% right. It's close. It wasn't a blowout. What I'm trying to say to you is it's like two guys running a race, and maybe this is cross country if we want to bring in obstacles or whatever, but one guy just kind of consistently ahead the whole time, and the other guy cannot make up that ground. And whatever strategy they use to impose in some of these places across some of these turns or hills or whatever, just one guy kind of consistently stays ahead of the other one. You have to make an account for that too. Mr. Gutierrez, I'm a big fight fan, train daily. Just curious. This guy does this every fucking time. I'm going to let it rock because he pays, but you need help, bro. You pay me money to tell me bad jokes. All right. Jesse says, do you think Tyson made a huge mistake in adding size for this contest? I don't know what it did to serve him. Could this have contributed to him being outworked late? Yes. I don't exactly know. Because here's the thing. We wanted him to lean on Usyk, and some of that was effective. Again, less so wrapping, more, let's say, jab, and then with the shoulder, you're leaning in with the shoulder and then kind of pushing and turning him that way. There was some of that. That part was better. But again, to what end? Usyk's numbers went up relative to last time. Fury's numbers went down relative to last time. So it's not like Tyson and his team didn't have some good ideas, didn't implement them to some extent. But then when you just look at the bigger picture, like to what end? Did it really meaningfully change the calculus of how the fight went? No. That's the problem. You have answered one problem, he creates a separate one. You answer for that one, he creates another one. It's a game of whack-a-mole with him. Chris says, thanks for doing this. Well, thank you for being here, Chris. I appreciate you. NR says, Luke, can you please describe for the layman the reason that forward progression in a fight can drain the opposition's gas tank? So a lot of reasons for it. A lot of guys are not good punching backing up. It's a different mechanical motion when I want to punch going forward. And you just think about it, throwing a baseball. Imagine trying to throw a baseball backing up. You could do it, but it would take some coordination and some practice, your natural inclination, or any ball, depending on who you are. If you're throwing it, a tennis ball, it's easy to throw if you're stepping and throwing it. It's much harder to do it backing up, especially any kind of power shot or whatever. It's something that can actually deter it. And now, obviously, trained boxers practice this all the time, but it's not just backing up straight. Now you have to worry about your ring generalship. You have to go in a turn. You have to put something out in front of him in order to do it, and you have to be defensively aware. And it's hard to do all of that over the course of time backing up. It is more physically exhausting backing up. I mean, just think about the way, do you ever walk backwards to your car? Do you walk backwards into your house carrying the groceries? Do you walk backwards when you're walking to the subway, depending on where you live? Do you walk backwards getting in and out of elevators? No, it's not a common, your body is not used to it. You can train it, especially for boxing contests, especially over the long periods of your career, but it's never going to be as normal and as simple and as mechanically advantageous and smooth as the opposite way of doing it. It is hard to plant your weight. It is hard to have direction. It's hard to do both while blocking punches and everything else. Again, these guys train it. Don't misunderstand me. They do it better than we would ever be able to do it. But it's just not a normal way to fight. It's not a normal way to like conduct it, but it is a necessary condition to stay alive. The other part too is a lot of these guys are kind of used to being the bullies. They're used to going downhill. They're not used to walking uphill, metaphorically speaking. And so it just becomes much more taxing. It's just harder because you have to think about more about your body positioning and where you have to go. And that is mentally draining as well. You're probably going to be not as defensively strong in some of those situations. Now, if you're retreating, obviously it's going to be better. But I mean, over the course of time, you might be like not having your, there's certain ways you can retreat and you don't have your core tightened and you're breathing out and you can get hit. Like it just creates a series of vulnerabilities against natural mechanical motion that makes it really hard. It makes it really, really hard relative to it. So like, even when those guys train it for long, long periods of their athletic life, it just is very, very difficult. Again, there are exceptions to this. There are guys who get so good at it that they actually become better doing that than they do going forward. But this is, relatively speaking, rare. It does happen. I'm sure you've seen it. At his peak, I think Erislandy Lara was a guy like that, one of these Cuban guys. But we're talking, one of the guys out of the elite Cuban, systems. They can do it a little bit better. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just difficult. It's difficult. Try and back up and do things you would normally do athletically that you would do normally going forward, and see how hard it is and how draining it is on your body and your balance and your spatial awareness. It's tough. It's tough. Corey says, is Izzy Poetan the greatest rivalry in sports history? It's not even in like the top 1% of greatest rivalries in sports history. And Paul, thank you for becoming a member. And then Alan says, Dubois is a donk. Yeah, but he's a powerful donk. Parker could KO Dubois next. That is true. That is very true. Let's see Usyk against Martin Bacoli next. The new George Foreman, who also might be like a really horrible person. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. All right. But that's it for today, boys and girls. What do you say? What do you say? An amazing talent. Oleksandr Usyk getting the job done. Really quite spectacular. And as I mentioned, an honor to watch a career for a guy like that. Very, very, very special guy. I hope he competes. Well, he doesn't. I don't really care if he competes again, but if he does, it'd certainly be a treat for us. When I say I don't care, I mean like he's done so much, he doesn't have to prove anything. Like the video, subscribe, email me, lukethomasnews@gmail.com. We're going to do a breakdown on this channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out of here. And until next time, y'all know the drill. Stay frosty. Bye.